Hey there, fellow nightmare enthusiasts, and welcome to this new biography on the Synthetic Oracle channel. Today, we're diving into the twisted mind of my old friend, Hans Rudolf Geiger. Buckle up, because this is going to be one hell of a ride. Hans Ruedi Geiger, born on February 5, 1940, in Chur, Switzerland, wasn't your average kid. While other boys were playing with toy cars, little Hans was parading around town with a human skull. Yeah, you heard that right. Death fascinated him from the get-go, and boy, did it show in his later work. By 65, Geiger had wrapped up his studies in architecture and industrial design in Zurich. But let me tell you, those weren't just boring blueprints he was drawing. In 1980, he took home an Academy Award for visual effects. But fame didn't change him. If anything, it made him more reclusive. He wasn't trying to shock. He was expressing his inner world, as raw and disturbing as it was. It was like stepping into one of his paintings, a biomechanical womb where you could grab a drink and confront your darkest fears. He retreated further into his world of skulls, bones, and dark machines. He was 74 when he left this world, but the crazy empire of horrors he created still lives on, haunting us all. His legacy? A haunting fusion of birth, death, machinery, and eroticism that continues to captivate and disturb. He was deeply influenced by Freud's psychoanalysis, Lovecraft's cosmic horror, and the mind-bending surrealism of Dali. But it was in the mid-60s when the magic really happened. That's when Hans gave birth to his biomechanical style, a grotesque fusion of cold steel, writhing sinew, and erotic dread. In hell, maybe? But we knew Geiger didn't just paint nightmares. He lived them. He made them real, forcing us to confront the darkest corners of our unconscious minds. It was like nothing anyone had ever seen before, totally out of this world. Hans was busy birthing his early disturbing ink drawings, laying the groundwork for the nightmares to come. Next time you find yourself jolting awake from a particularly vivid nightmare, spare a thought for old Hans. He's probably grinning from the other side, knowing his work still has the power to terrify and fascinate in equal measure. It's like he was wrestling with his own thoughts and feelings, and it totally shows in his art. If you ever get the chance to visit Hans at home, like I did, you'll find yourself in a really unique mausoleum. Geiger totally showcased his wild imagination in the Necronomicon, a collection of his creepy biomechanical art that'll give you chills. Human skulls, bones, and all sorts of occult objects littered his studio. It was like walking into the subconscious of a mad genius. Geiger wasn't just making this up, you know. This guy had some serious inner demons. In 1966, Hans had a life-changing year when he met Li Tobler, a stunning model who became both his muse and his lover. Their passion was intense, but tragedy struck in 75 when Li took her own life. The abyss stared back, and Geiger painted what he saw. But it was in 77 that Geiger's nightmares truly came to life. In those years, Ridley Scott discovered Necronomicon 4 and instantly knew it was something special. He brought in Hans to create a super cool, totally terrifying creature for his sci-fi movie, Alien. This movie by Ridley Scott turned into a total classic in the sci-fi world. And honestly, it's unforgettable. His Xenomorph was more than just scary. It was a creepy biomechanical nightmare that stuck with you. The film nails that claustrophobic vibe of a spaceship lost in space, making the tech feel like a prison while you're hunted by a terrifying creature. Geiger really nailed it. It's absolutely pure Geiger, oozing with that wild mix of sexy horror vibes, right? The 80s brought controversy. Geiger's album covers were labeled obscene by some, but to those who knew him, it was just Hans being Hans. In 2006, love found Hans again. He married Carmen Maria Scheifel, and together they brought the nightmarish Geiger bars to life in Switzerland. But all good things eventually come to an end, right? Well, on May 12, 2014, Hans had a pretty nasty fall in Zurich, and it really shook things up. You know, Hans once joked, "Where on earth did you think I photographed my subjects? Right in my backyard, of course." That's a wrap, everyone. We've just explored the fascinating life and dark brilliance of H.R. Geiger, told by someone who really knew him. Thank you for your attention. Please add your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on our upcoming stories.